Welcome back to Code with Yusuf YouTube channel. In the previous part of contact management system using MERN stack, we have completed our authentication and authorization. It means login and registration. All these steps has been completed. But whenever we refresh our page today, we should move to our home page. It means that we should see our name and other navbar links here because we were logged in yesterday. So it means first of all, whenever we run our application, we should verify the user. If the user was authenticated, then we should show the dashboard and all information related to that user. So it means the first step that we would like to take today, that is to first of all perform the verification of the user. We will just verify the user. Is this user already registered? It means logged in or not. So let's move to our code. So to just check the user, is this user logged in with us? It means already authenticated or not. So for that, come here to the let's first of all remove all these files. So we will come here to the app.jsx. In our client side, we will come here to the app.jsx. In the app.jsx, what we will do here, we will learn use effect. So let's use effect. Use effect hook. This is a hook that we will use, and it will render at the first time whenever we run our application. So inside this use effect hook, now we will just send a request to the server side, and there we will check the token, is the token available or not. So just come here, we will just use come here to the login. I will just send a request like this. I will just customize it. Okay, just change. Let's first of all import Axios. Yeah, there is no Axios. Axios has been imported from Axios library. Axios.post, but this is get. We will change it to the get, and we will send request to, instead of login, to verify route. That then we will get a response. So we will check the response. If response.data.success, if the response was success, it means if it was okay. So what we will do, then we will change the data, this user, information of this user. We will call set user method, and we will just store the data of user, response.data .user, like this. And just come here, .catch, if there was an error, so just console the error. Now let's move to our server side, and we will just complete this route. Let's come here to our server side. First of all, come here to the routes. Here we will create our route. Router.get/verify. This is verify, comma. Here first of all we will call our middleware. Okay, the middleware, we will check the user. So before calling the first, here we will call the middleware, and the second thing is to call the function. Okay, the auth function. Let's create both of them. First of all, let's move to user controller. Here we will create the auth function. Const auth is equal to, this is async, we don't need async, request and response. So in the auth, we will just return a request. Okay, return response.json. The request is, it means, let's status, response.status 200 or 201.json, and inside this success true. And the second object, the second one is that we will return the user. So for that we will just write user like this. Okay, dot request dot user dot / doc. It means that we will fetch the user. Okay, the document of the user. So where we will get this user, request.user. So we will attach this user with this request later in verify middleware. So let's do it. Okay, let's save it, and we will move. We will create a new folder inside our server side. Okay, in server side, this was the controller folder, config folder, and models folder, routes folder. Now let's create another folder, which is we will name it middleware. Inside this middleware, now let's create a file. We will name it verify user.js. And inside this, now let's first of all export. So what we need to import inside this verify user, let's first of all import the user, the JWT token. Import JWT, JWT from JSON Web Token. It is just JWT user model user.js. And what else we need? So let's create verify method. Okay, export const verify user is equal to, we will get here request, response, and next. So we will use next later. Okay, you will understand why we have used next here. We will call next later. So here, first of all, we will check for the authorization. Okay, the request, we will check this request for authorization. So we didn't pass the authorization. So let's move back to our front end, and here we will pass authorization, comma, headers. In the headers, okay, we will pass authorization. Authorization is equal to, now inside here we will pass first of all barrier, spelling is like this, and space, and after that we will just pass local storage. Let's write like this. Inside this local storage dot get item slash token. So we will pass our token through this header. Okay, so after passing token to the through request, okay, so here now we will get this authorization. We will get this authorization inside this verify user middleware. So let's check it. Const auth header is equal to, we will write request dot headers dot authorization, like this. We will check now for the authorization. Down from that we will check if auth header, if the auth header was available, it means that the token was available. So what we will do, so we will pitch now, we will take the token, exactly the token from header. So to take the token, for that we will write const token is equal to with auth header dot split base and space. So we will split this auth. It means, come here to the front end, we will split this sentence, okay, this one. So we will split it based on this space that we have after barrier. So whenever we split it, so now we will take this first argument. This is the 0 one in the array, but this is the first one. So we will take the first one. Just write here in the array notation the first one. So after taking the token, now we will just verify the token. We will use jwt.verify method, okay, to verify our token. So we will first of all write token, comma, now our secret key. So to take the secret key was stored inside .env file. So to take that, for that let's import first of all .env, import .env from .env. After importing that, now .env.config, call the config, and path is equal to with double dot slash, we will move to the config folder slash .env file. So now let's write here process .env dot the name of our token. Okay, let's check the name of our token. This was JWT secret key. As I told you, this should be a secret key, at least 32 character. No one should know about this secret key. So after writing the secret key, now we will get a callback function. So inside that we will get an error or payload. So now let's specify it. Okay, so if there was any error, so we will return a response. Okay, if the error was existed, it means the token was not valid token. So we will just return response dot status 401 dot JSON So inside this JSON we will return an error or message, whatever is that, okay, unauthorized, like this. But if there was no error, so then what we will do, so first of all we will just pitch the record, the user, okay, the user based on this payload. Const user is equal to with the let's make this function asynchronous, async, and here we will use a wait keyword. Now we need it because we would like to use the user model dot find one based on ID. So ID is equal to with the, so where we can get the ID, so the ID is stored inside this payload. Okay, whenever we were storing the token, so we store ID inside this payload. So now here we will just write payload dot ID. Okay, I will show to you where we stored where is, why it is just giving us the error. So where I have written, yeah, this, let's cut it. This is asynchronous function with us. Yeah, first of all I will come here to the user controller, come here to the login, and inside the login come here to the token. Okay, just come here. This is our token, and here we stored our ID. Okay, this is our stored that we ID that we stored inside the token. So now we got that, okay, the ID from this payload. So where we were here. So after that we will dot use select method, and inside the select method we will just specify minus password. It means select the whole user, the whole record of the user without password. Don't select the password. So that is how we can select the user. So now we will use request dot user is equal to with user. Okay, as I told you before, just come here to the routes, come here to the user controller. Here, as I told you, here we will get the user document, okay, the user data. So here we attach that with request dot user is equal to with user. Now we will call next. This is the functionality of next. Whenever we completed our authentic, it means that the token was valid, so then we will call next, so it will go ahead. If there was any error, so then we will not go. If there was no it means, just come here where I should display to you. Yeah, here, if the auth header was not available, so then we will return an error again. So let's return response dot status 403 dot JSON, and inside this JSON let's return an error which says that forbidden, for example, like this. But one thing, another error that we should return, that is, for example, if we failed running this query, it means fetching the record from database, so then we will return an error. So for that let's use try catch block. Here we will use catch, and we will get here an error. And inside this we will just return response dot status 500, this is server side error dot JSON, and we will return the error dot message, like this. Control Shift F to just format the code. So this is the verify user middleware that we will call. Got it? This is the whole code for the verification of the user that we will check. Now let's move back to our routes, and before going to routes, here I will just return the user is equal to this. I will just assign this whole code to user, then we will get this user here. Okay, just come here to the login. Yeah, just come here, result.data.user. Come here to the routes. First of all, we will call verify user middleware here. Verify user middleware. Okay, that has been imported, and after that we will call auth function. Auth from, let's import the auth first of all from user controller. Yeah, this is user controller. Let's import comma auth. Now let's use, yeah, we have used the auth. So that's how we can check a user the authentication. We will call this verify route. After that, what it will do, it will just first of all call verify user middleware, and it will come here to the verify user middleware, and it will check if the user was okay. So it will call next, and it will come here, and it will call auth function. If it failed, so it will return an error to us. Whenever it succeeded, so we will call this auth. I think we didn't export it, so let's export it. That has been exported. Have used that, everything is okay. So now let's check it. Okay, now let's refresh it. So it means that the token has been expired. Okay, so let's log in. Let's log in and just come here, and which email we have used yesterday. So let's, for example, try this email, gmail.com, the password 56, press login. Yeah, that is okay. The email and password was okay, so we logged in successfully, Muhammad Yusuf. But let's, for example, I would like to close now the Chrome browser. Okay, so for example, let's close this tab, and I would like to run again the application. It means for the next day I come. So let's run it. What happened? So after coming to this, it means that we didn't move to the home page. It means to the it means we didn't get the user data. So let's check it. Okay, just come here, and whenever we refresh it, so we will call verify and barrier. I'm really sorry, so it was just a spelling mistake. So now it is okay. So let's check it now. Okay, just come here and refresh it. See, it has been sold. Right now we have the data of the user. So that was just a spelling mistake that we were facing with. So if we copy now the URL and close this tab and paste it and refresh it again, so it will have the data of the user. Look at, so we have the data. It means that whenever we refresh our page, for example, if we come tomorrow or other day, so we will be logged in until the token expires. So we have put the expiry date for the token 3 days. So it will expire 3 days. After 3 days, it will require a login again. So it was the verification of the user. So now we will directly move to the dashboard. Okay, it means that whenever we log in, so we will directly move the user to the dashboard. So it means that we will now design our dashboard component. So let's come here and let's close this one and also this one. In the app.js, first of all, I will add the route for dashboard. So just come here under from the login. Here I will add for the dashboard. Okay, path / dashboard, and element would be the dashboard. Right now we didn't create, so let's create the dashboard component. So dashboard, I will create that inside pages, new file, dashboard.jsx or AFCE, save it, and let's import it. Let's save it. Just come here and let's write dashboard. So this is the dashboard component, but whenever we log in, so we will move directly user to the dashboard component. So for that, come here to the login page, and by successful login, so here I will just move to the dashboard. I will change that to the dashboard. User will directly move to the dashboard. Inside the dashboard component, now we will display, let's move here. At the left sidebar, we will have the sidebar. At the top, navbar. On the left side, sidebar, left sidebar. And at this area, at the middle, in this area, we will dynamically display the to add a contact, to edit a contact, to delete a contact, whatever we want. So, okay, we will display all those dynamic stuffs here. In the left sidebar, we will have a sidebar, okay, in the left side. And at the top, we will have the navbar. So, just come here to the dashboard. And in the dashboard, let's have a fragment. Inside this fragment, first of all, let's import the navbar. Okay, the navbar will be at the top. Down from that, we will have dashboard, a div element, and inside this we will have a left side sidebar and content area. So it means this is sidebar, the first div, and the second div will be for content dot or we can name it, yeah, content. This is for content. So now let's display it. Okay, let's name it like sidebar h1 sidebar and h1 content. Later I will design the sidebar and also the content, but right now let's display it. So this is our, at the top we have our navbar, and at the sidebar and content. Now let's design it. Okay, we will just specify area, okay, to the sidebar and to the content. Content should be at the right side and sidebar at the left side. So for that we will use the CSS code. So let's move, and I will create another CSS file. Just come here to the CSS and I will add a new file which is dashboard.css. Let's import it inside the dashboard. assets/css/dashboard.css. After importing it, now I will just write a few lines of CSS code for the dashboard. So first of all, I have changed the class name. This is sidebar container and this is contact container, and I wrote these 3-4 lines of CSS code: dashboard, and for the dashboard sidebar container, and for the contact container. Let's check it. Okay, so it looks like this now. So now on the left sidebar we will design now our sidebar. So let's move, and we will create just our sidebar component. Okay, let's close it. So just come here to the components, right click, new file, sidebar.jsx. Save it. Let's import it here. Sidebar has been imported. Save it. And here at the right side, dynamically we will display the content. So it means that now we will use the outlet. Okay, outlet component which is provided by React Outer DOM. So outlet has been imported from React Outer DOM. So this outlet means that it will display dynamic content. Sometimes it will display content related to the route. Okay, the route that we have specified. So now we will specify routes for the dashboard here. Okay, so we will just add children to this dashboard path. So it means that let's first of all check it. Okay, we have sidebar, and at the right side we don't have anything. So now we will add routes for the contacts and edit contact, add contact, and others. So for that we will add children to this dashboard. It means whenever we add children to this dashboard, so it will display those children instead of this outlet. I will display it to you. So it was the dashboard. Now let's move here. We will add the children to the dashboard route. So just come here. Here we will add a comma, and here we will add children. This is an array with us. Inside the array we will have the children for the dashboard. The first one is the let's add contacts. Okay, so let's make it index true. This means whenever we run this path dashboard, so it will render this dashboard. In the dashboard, what it will do, in this dashboard, first of all, it will display the sidebar on the left side, and on the right side, but it will display the index that we have true. This one, this component. So this will be contact with us. So we will display contact on the right side. So let's create contact component. Right click, new file, contacts.jsx, rfc, save it. Let's element contacts, save it. Now let's check it. Okay, see, we have contacts on the right side and sidebar on the left side. So it was the dashboard component that we have designed. Now we will move to the sidebar to design the sidebar. So let's move to the sidebar component, and in this sidebar let's add a class name to the parent div, that is sidebar, and inside that we will have that sidebar item. We will have 5 items. Let's multiply it by 5. We will have 5 div element, and inside the first one we will just display an icon. So I will export the icon later. So before that, let's add here a link, React Outer DOM link. Okay, link React Outer DOM, import that to is equal to, so it will move to profile, and here inside that we will write profile, and before this profile we will have an icon. So I import icons later. Now let's just write here another, copy this link and paste it inside this second one, which is we can say it contacts, and just let's paste it here, like we can say add contact, and the last one, which is exit or logout. Save it, Control Shift F to format it. So let's save it. Now let's first of all check it how it looks like. It looks like this. Okay, I will first of all I will add icons. So to add the icons, I will import icons from React Router, from React Icons. Import icons, the name of the icons from React Icons /fa6 font awesome 6. I will just import the name of icons that we will use. So these are the icons. I have imported them from font awesome. So now let's use them. First of all, just come here to the top one, and here we will use fa cube stacked, this one, and we will add a class name to this one, class name top icon. And let's add class name to these links also. Alt press and add a class name. This is sidebar link. Now after that, we will add just links here. Okay, before this profile, let's add link. So the first link that we will use per profile, that is fa user, and add a class name icon. And let's copy this one, Control C, and paste it here. And now we will use the third icon instead of fa user. Let's copy it, paste it here, and paste it here. Just we will change the icon names. Let's copy this one for this one, and copy this one for the last one. Paste it, save it. Now let's display it. Yeah, it looks like this. So we will use CSS for designing it. So now let's add a CSS file for sidebar. Right click, new file, sidebar.css, and let's import it inside the sidebar. Import asset /css /sidebar.css. Now let's add the design. So I have added these few lines of code to the sidebar margin, sidebar item, sidebar link, top icon, and icon. So let's now check it. So it looks like this. Now let's we will just for example, the link which is active, we will just change the background color of that one. For example, by default the contact, this one is active, so we will just add in a class name to that. So to handle this, for that I will add a variable const active link comma set active link is equal to use state hook. By default the value is 1. By default the value is 1. So now just come here and we will come down to this one, to the profile, not to the profile but to the contacts. Okay, to the contacts. Let's add a class name to this one. So let's add that to this div element. Okay, to this div. So class name I have added. So now let's change it. Okay, I will wrap it through curly braces and add backticks. By default we have sidebar item. Now we will use this active link. So for that, let's use it. If active link was equal to with 1, so what we will do, we will add active class name, active, else nothing, an empty class name. Okay, if the active link was 1, so we will add active class to this div element. Now let's add some design to the active class. So just these two lines. Okay, that active background, I change the background and the color of that link. Now let's move to the browser. See, it looks like this, but we should handle it. Okay, let's add here steric box sizing border box. That is okay. Okay, this is the active link which has changed the background color, but whenever we click add contact, we should change this active link to this one. So for handling this, just come here back to the sidebar, and we will just, for example, come here to the add contact, and here I will add on click. First of all, I will use the same pattern, okay, the same class pattern for all these links. Okay, let's use it. Paste it here, and also for this one. But for the first one, for the profile, I will use 0 if that was 0, and for the contacts 1, for add contacts 2, and for exit 3. Yeah, we don't need exit because we would like to exit directly, so we don't need exit. Yeah, are we? Yeah, we will leave it like this. So after changing the number, so what we should do now, let's add buttons, on click events. Just come here, we will add to the first one on click event. On click, what we will do, we will just call set active link to 0 here. Okay, if we click on this one, so we will change the value of this active link to 0. Let's copy this active link on click event, and we will paste it for contacts also. So we will change for the contacts 1, and we will change for the add contacts 2 the value, and change for the exit 3. Save it. Now let's check it. Just come here. If we click profile, so it says throw an error to us. Let's check it. So I think there is no profile link. Okay, we don't have this profile. Okay, the profile is not existed here, so that's why it just rendered an error for us. So let's come here to the sidebar. I will just remove this to property from profile. Like this, and to whenever we click on the contacts, so we will just move to the dashboard. So whenever we move to the dashboard, we will directly move to the contacts, and for the add contact, we will just move to the dashboard slash add. Right now I will remove it, okay, because I would like to just display you the functionality of this. Let's remove and refresh it. Now let's press add contact, see profile, contacts, add contact. So how it is changing between. Now let's control Z. So here we will just move to add contact, for example, and whenever we press on the exit, so we will move directly to, we should log out from the system. It means save it. Just let's check it once again. Exit, profile, contacts. So it was all about the sidebar that we have designed. Now we will just, whenever we press add forum, so we will add a contact to the database. It means we will add contacts. So let's first of all add the route for add contacts. So just come here to the sidebar, and whenever we press add contact, so we will move to dashboard slash add contact. Let's come here to the app.jsx, and we will add another child, that is path. Path would be like slash dashboard slash add contact, and after that element, the element would be add contact forum. So for that, let's create a component, right click and new file, add contact.jsx. Save it, and just come here and import that. Add contact has been imported. So now let's check it. Okay, let's press on add contact. See, we come directly to the add contact forum. Now we will design a forum. For designing the forum, as we have designed the registration in the previous video, we have designed the registration forum in login forum. It is the same a forum. We have input fields, we have a submit button, and we have input field to store the values. We have the same concept as we did. In detail we explained for the registration. So we have the same forum. I will just copy the code of that registration forum. Just come here to the register, and I will control a sorry, Control A, Control C. I will copy the whole code. I will just then change these fields for contacts. Control A, Control V. I will just change the name to add contact. I will change all these fields, the necessary field that we need. First of all, we will change the names. So for the add contact, just come here down. For the first of all, here we will just add create contact or add contact, and we don't need label. We would like to display icon instead of a label. Let's remove that. And for the errors, we don't want to perform validation on this. We performed and we explained you the validation front side and backend side validation for registration form and login form. You can watch that video. Okay, the previous video, you have to watch that video. In that video, we explained the front side validation, React validation, and also the server side validation. So just come here down. I would like to remove this. First of all, we will add the name of the user, the contact, okay, then the email, and after that we would like to add the phone number. So let's change this to type text. Yeah, may text or number, let's leave it as text. And placeholder, enter phone number, forum control, and name phone, like this. And let's copy this. Let's remove first of all the error, and we would like to have for address also. Copy this and paste it here for address. Remove it. Address, just come here and make it address. Add it and save it. We have the fields now. So whenever we write inside these input fields, we will call handle input. Okay, whenever we are writing something in this input field, we will call handle input. So there we will store the value that we are writing in input field to variables, okay, to these credentials, to these variables. Instead of this password, I will add phone and one another value for address. That is okay. We have these four values inside this form. Let's remove these two state variables, and in the handle input we will just update the values. That is okay, we don't need to that. So what else has been removed? Just left it. We will just on the submit function, we will work on it later, but first of all we will design it. Let's first of all check it how it looks like. So it looks like this. Okay, I will just change it. I will just add the CSS code and it will looks better. So for that, let's add change the class name. This is add form container, and this is add form that we have. Let's save it. So it looks like this. Now I will add the CSS code. Just come here to the forum.cs, and I will just update the forum for this add contact also. Then I will show to you. So I have made these changes. First of all, the same code, okay, for both add forum container and forum container. Just the width is, the height is different. For the login and registration forum, the height is 100 VH, and for the add forum container, the height is 90 VH. And this is the same code again. But we have changed the width. For the add forum, width is 500 pixel. For the login and registration, the forum, the width was 300 pixel. And the same code, and this is also the same code, and here the same code again. Add forum. For add forum, we have added now this. Okay, this code is for add forum. Okay, let's check it from this area till this area. Okay, so display text, align item center. Then for the input fields, we have added this code for add forum. Okay, for this is for the add forum, add contact forum. And also for placeholder, we have added black color, and for input, whenever we focus outline, none. So again, what we have changed else, so we have added the same code, the button code for both forums. So now let's check it. Okay, so it looks like this right now. So what else we should do? Let's add here icons. Okay, for the forum, for the email, and phone number and email enter address. For these I will add now the icons. So let's first of all I will import the icons. Import icons from React icons /fa6 font awesome 6. So I have added these 4 icons, for art, papoon, and these 4. Okay, let's use them. First of all, which one we have name? So for the name we will use for user plus this icon. Copy this one and just come here. Before the input field we will use that. And for email, the second one is email. For that we have for at this icon, and the third one is for phone. The fourth one is for address. Let's close it and save it. Let's check it now. See, it looks like this now. This is our add contact forum. So over the last, whenever we submit the forum, we will call handle submit. Okay, on submit we will call handle submit function, this function. So whenever we call this, so what we will do here, first of all, let's remove this for addition, and also let's remove this sentence, and also remove this one, and Alt Shift F. Axios, we will use axios.post, and here we will call, instead of register we will call add contact, like add contact, this URL. Let's change it like this, add contact, and we will add the values. We will pass the values also, and we will pass the header also, because we would like to verify, authenticate the user. If that was a valid user, so he can add contact, otherwise he can't. So for that we will pass as we have passed whenever we were using in app.jsx. I will show to you. Okay, in use effect hook here like this, we will add the header also. Let's copy the header area and we will move to the add contact, and we will pass that like this. So after passing the headers, now we will get a response. So response, if that was success, so we will just now show again the toast notification that account created. It means that contact added successfully. Now we will display the message, contact added successfully, top right 5000, and then where we would like to move, we will like to move back to dashboard. Whenever we add contact, we will move directly back to the dashboard. But if there was any error, so what we will do, let's just display the error. Like this. And let's just come here. What else? Let's import the toast. So let's remove this validation. So link. We will just import toast. Import toast from React Toastify, this one. So let's move. Yeah, I think we faced with an error. Already declared toast has been already declared. So yeah, that was already declared, sorry. Save it. That is okay. So this work. So now whenever we press this, so we will pass the data to the server side, and now we will create our API to register. It means to add the record to the database. So this was the design of add contact forum. Now we will move to the server side to add to create API for creating adding an contact. So let's move to the server side up, and let's remove this one, little dashboard, sidebar. And in the server side, first of all, I will just wrap the client side and also wrap config. And first of all, we will create a model for contacts. Okay, as we have created a model for a user, so now we will create a model for a contact. Contact.js, and it is the same user as we have created like this, but let's copy this, the whole code. Okay, writing again will take some times. So let's change it to the contact schema. And new mongoose.schema name. First of all, we have name, type string required to, that true, that is okay, and email, that is okay, type string required to, unique, true, and instead of password we will just add phone, and phone we will add require to unique, true, because the phone is also unique. And after that, address, type string, just type string I will add to the address. And the last field is posted by. Who posted this? Okay, which user has been posted this contact? Who saved this contact? We will store the user ID here. It means it is a relationship with the user table, okay, that we have with the user. So for that, let's first of all we will have the ID of the user. So let's add the type. Type is mongoose dot schema dot types dot object ID. This is the type. It means the object ID. The type is ID. And reference. The reference is user. Okay, the user is the reference. Let's save it. And just come here down. This is contact model. And here we will use contact instead of use. This contact is where it will store, and this is the schema. This is the name of our table connection. Let's export it. Okay, copy this one, paste it. So we have created our model now, and here we will add contact schema. Copy this one, paste it here. Okay, this is the model that we have created for our contact. So after creating the contact, and now let's move to the just close it, come here to the routes. We will add a route. So to add a route, for that let's write a router. These were user routes. Okay, let's write here user routes, and just come here down, contact routes, comment it, router dot post slash add contact. This was the route contact, comma, we will first of all we will call verify user, because we should verify the user. If the user was authenticated, then we will add contact, otherwise it should fail if the user was not logging. So here we will just call now the create contact controller. So just come here to the controller. We will create another controller, another file, which is contact controller.js, and inside this now we will import express from express, and import contact model from contact.js. Just come here now, let's create it. Const create contact is equal to, this is asynchronous function with us, and we will get request and response. Here now we will create our contact. So let's first of all const, what we will do to distract the values, const name, email, password, not password, phone, and address is equal to from request.body. So after distracting these values, now we will create a new contact. Const new contact is equal to new contact model. First the values name, email, then phone, address, all are the same. And at the last the reference, it means the ID. So for the ID, what we should do, we will get ID from the request. So like this. Okay, let's write post it by, and here we will assign now request.user./id. So where we just fetch the ID. So I will show to you. Whenever we come here to the routes and we call this verify user, this method. Okay, so where it will go, it will move to the verify method. So whenever it come here, so what it will do, whenever it authenticate, it means if the user was authenticated, if the token was existent and was true, so what it will do, it will attach user with this request that user. Look at, it will attach user with request that user. So whenever we attach that, so now we can access user through request. Just come here to the contact controller, and here we can request that user, we can access ./id from that. So after that, now let's save our contact. Const result is equal to await. Let's just write new contact dot save. So after saving that, now let's return the result. Return response dot status 201 dot JSON success true, and we will return the result ./doc. The document of the contact, we will return that. But let's wrap this whole area through try and catch block, because if there was an error storing the data, so then we will catch that. Let's come here down, catch. There was any error, so thus just return response.json status 500 dot JSON error dot message Alt Shift F. So that is okay. It is now let's export this create contact. Export create contact. Save it. Let's import it now through these routes. Create contact. That has been imported from a contact controller. Now let's call it. Copy this, and after verify user, we will call that. So everything is completed. Add contact. Let's move to add contact. Just come here. Yeah, add contact. That is okay. The route is okay. Values and headers authorization barrier. That is okay. So let's try it. Okay, let's just move to our browser, and we will just enter yeah, that is okay. So we will register this user. This is phone number, state, and whatever is that. Okay, we have entered everything. Let's press now add button. See, a contact added successfully. It means the contact has been added. Now let's check it inside the database. Just let's refresh it and come here to the contact MSY. See, we have the contacts table collection, and see, we have the first record that we have added and posted by this user. So this was our first functionality and adding of the records. So what else we should do? Now we will just, whenever we press this contact, we should display the contacts that the user has been added. We will display those contacts. The first functionality has been added to add a contact. Now we will come to the second functionality, which is to fetch the records, to display the records. So to display the record, just come here to the contacts component. Here to the contacts. Inside this component, now we will implement our logic to display the records. So to fetch the records, for that, first of all, let's use effect hook to fetch records. Whenever we first run to this component, so we will run the use effect hook, and inside that we will fetch records. Here let's use access. So I will just copy the code from the same code we would like to use, but I will just change it, paste it here, and also let's import the access from access. So access.get, this is a get request, and we will move to /http 127.0.0.1 or localhost 3 contact MSYT / contacts. And after that, we will pass our headers authorization local storage get item token. If we got the result, so what we will do, we will store the result somewhere. Okay, let's remove this. or let's leave it okay like this. If we get the result, so then we will, let's create a state variable, const contacts set contacts is equal to use state hook. This is an array with us, so we will store our result inside this contacts variable. We will write like this, set contacts response dot data dot contacts. We will return contacts from our server side. Catch if there was an error, so console the error. So it means right now we have returned our contacts from server side. So let's move to the server side. There we will implement this contacts API. So let's move to our routes. First of all, in the routes, let's add our route, that is git and contacts, and also we will call verify user. Then we will call create, instead of create contact we will call contacts, get contacts. Okay, let's come here to the controller, contact controller. So here we will create another controller, const get contact is equal to with asynchronous request and response, and let's export it. First of all, get contacts, this is contacts. Now let's import it inside the routes. So we will call get contacts, that is okay, that has been imported, I think. Yeah, that has been imported. So after writing it, now let's implement the code for get contact. Okay, come here to the contact controller and to the get contact. So here we will just now fetch the records from database. So just let's write here try catch block, and inside that we will just write const contacts is equal to await keyword. Then let's increase the size of our text a little bit. Await our contact model dot find. It means that we will find all record and we will just fetch those records which are posted by the user which is logged in. So for that we will write a request dot user dot slash id. So just fetch those records which are posted the user by the user which is logged in right now, and return response dot status 200 dot json success true and contacts. Else in the catch area, so if there was any error, so return response dot status 500 dot json, or return error which is error dot message. So this was the code for get contacts. So after pitching the record to our front end for that, so we will store that inside the contacts. Now we will display the record from this contacts. So to display the record, we will display records in a table. So for that we will use data table. At the start we have installed at the first video. Okay, we will install all the libraries. So we will use data table for that to display the records. Data table that has not been imported. Import data table from data table, I think React data table, you can see what was the name of that. We have that inside the package.json or not. Just come here to the front end and to the package.json. I think we have installed React data table, React spinner, React icons. I think we didn't install the React data table component. So let's connect with the internet. So let's search here React data table. React data table component, open it. So we will install it right now. Let's move to the terminal and let's take a new terminal, and there we will just cd client, and inside the client we will install that. Just come here and we will copy this line of code, paste it here, press enter. So I think we don't need any other things to install. Yeah, just React data table component. Let's move to the documentation. Yeah, that has been completed. Just come here to the documentation, to the installation, and we will check the installation. React 16. Yeah, first of all we should install. Yeah, we have installed it. If you do not already have a styled component, let's copy this also. We will install the styled component also, paste it and press enter. Install React data table component, styled components. Yeah, that is the installation. The installation has been completed. Let's close the terminal. Now we will import the contact data table. Yeah, that has not been imported. From React data table component. So after importing the data table, so for the data table, first of all we will specify the columns. So to specify the columns, for that let's create our columns here. Const columns is equal to, this is an array with us, and inside that we will have our objects. So in the columns, first of all we will display the name. So whenever you are using the data table, for that the column we should specify like this: name is equal to, with the that we would like to display, that is the name, and let's change this to column. And after name property we will just write selector, and this is a row with us. I will just explain it to you. Row.name. So what does this mean? This means the field that we would like to display here under the name column. So we would like to display our name field, comma, let's copy this one. We would like to have it for email also, and this is email, and change this to email. And we will display the phone also, phone number. Let's name it phone, and just come here down, phone. At the last we will have another field for action. So for action, it means that we will have here at the last column we will have two icons, which is for delete and edit. Action. And instead of now this selector, so here we will display now two icons. Let's write a fragment, and inside this fragment we will have now two icons. The first one will be pop in to square. We will import it, okay, from React icons. Let's import it, Control C, import pop in square from React icons /fa6, pop into square. And also let's assign a class name to this, table icon 1. Let's display the second icon, which is for rich trash can. Class name table icon 2. It's imported, that has been imported. Let's save it. So after these are our columns that we will display on our table. It means that this is the header. So after the header, we will just use this contacts variable to display the data also. So just come here, and inside this now we will just display our contacts. So let's use the data table, and here we will assign columns that we have, and data. To the data we will assign contacts, our contacts. Let's save it and we will check it how it looks like. Let's move to the browser, to the contact. See, we have pitched our first record. It looks like this, and we have these two icons also. This is our header and this is our first record because we have inserted one record. Now let's add some CSS code, but whenever we don't have any record, so for there it will display no record existed. So first of all, I will add some CSS code. Just come here to the CSS assets. To the CSS we have sidebar, navbar, home, forum. Inside this dashboard, okay, dashboard, I will display the write some code for CSS contacts. Right like this. So after adding a contact list class name to this div element, and just come here to the dashboard.css, and we have this code, okay, contact list, padding and text align, and this is the for the icons. This code is for the icons. So now let's check it. Okay, so it looks like this. This is these are our records. We can also add some CSS code for our table, also for the table header, and for this to just increase the size of this header. Come here to the contacts. I will just add some custom CSS code for that. Just come here, custom styles is equal to. So custom styles for head cells, I have added these styles, and for the cells, for other cells, that means for the data, I have added this style. Now let's apply this on our data table. Let's copy this name. Come here to the data table, and down from data, custom styles is equal to with custom style. So let's save it and let's check it now. See, it looks like this. Now what else? Let's add pagination also. Pagination, save it. So we will display the pagination here. Right now we have just one record, but whenever we have more than 10 records, so we will these buttons will be active. So after fetching, it was the data fetching that we have completed, but what else has remained, that if whenever there is no records, so for that what we should do, we will display add contacts button or a text for that. So for that, just come here, we will just write if contacts dot length was equal to with 0. So whenever the contact length is 0, so what we will do, we will just display that h1 tag, add a contact, for example, just a message. Else, for example, nothing, just a fragment. Save it. And one else, another thing that we should display, that is spinner. We will use spinner, okay. So whenever we are loading the data, so we will display the spinner. I will show you the spinner, how to use it. So for the spinner, we would like to create first of all loader variable. Just come here, const loading, set loading is equal to use state. By default the value is false, and whenever we come here to the use effect hook, and up from this, okay, just come here, whenever we come here to the use effect, I will just make it true. So I will just call set loading true, and whenever we return, it means fetch the records. So after that we will make it false, set loading false, and whenever there is an error, so we will make it false. Save it. Now let's use it. We have installed the React spinner, okay. Just come here to the package.json. We have installed the React spinner. We will use this React spinner. So now let's use it. Okay, just come here down and above from this contact links, this div element here, let's use first of all a fragment. We will wrap our whole code inside this fragment, and just come here, and here we will write if the loader was true, loading. If the loading was true, so what we will do, then we will display this code. Okay, let's we just write circle loader. I will import it. Okay, circle loader, let's import it from React Spinner. Import circle loader from a React Spinner / circle loader. Let's use it now. Just come here, and here we will use this. So to this circle loader, let's add these properties. Loading, our loading variable, size and area label, and data test ID. Now if this was not true, it means if it was false, so then we will display this code. Okay, just let's copy this, just cut this code, like to display this code. Alt Shift F. So this is our whole code. I think everything is okay. Let's save it. We will try it and we will check it. See, by default we look at, you will see the spinner. See the spinner at this top at the corner. So we can add CSS code to this loader. Okay, where we can move it to the right to the center also, like just wrap this circle loader through a div element and add a class name loader. We can bring this loader to the center also, just add some CSS code. So this was our this functionality that we have completed. Now another functionality is that whenever we press this edit button, we will be able to edit a contact. It means that to edit a contact. So this will be another functionality that we will implement. So to edit a contact, whenever we press this icon, we will move to a new component, a new page, which is edit contact. So let's come here to this icon first of all. Let's move to the contacts. In the contacts, let's move about to this link that we have. Come here to the columns. In the columns, we have these two links. The first one is for edit. So let's edit this link. We will wrap this link through a link property of React Router DOM, like this. Okay, link. Yeah, link has been closed. Let's move back here and we will add a property 2 is equal to, we will move to the this route. Okay, slash dashboard slash edit contact slash, we will pass the ID of this user that we want to edit. Got it? First of all, let's import the link. Import React Router DOM. So whenever we press this icon, it means that we will move to properties slash dashboard slash edit contact slash the ID of this user. So how we can get the ID of this user? For that we will write row like this. Okay, in variable row.id. Save it. So this is, let's just change the name of the ID, which is /id. Now let's move back to our routes, to our front-end routes. Come here to the app.jsx, and here we will add another route. Let's copy this code and paste it here. That would be edit contact /id. We will get an ID here, and here we will call the edit contact component. So right now we don't have edit contact. Let's create it. Right click on the component, new file, we will add it, edit contact.jsx RAFCE, save it, and let's import it. Edit contact, that has been imported. Let's move now to our, let's press this edit button. See, we directly come here to this ID. This is the ID and edit contact dashboard, and this is the edit contact that we have. Now in this edit contact we will have the forum, and inside that forum we will have the detail of the user that we would like to update, to edit. So to create a forum, we will have the same forum as we had for the add contact. We will have the same forum, just we will, instead of create, we will add here update and change the name of the button to update, and we will have the same forum. But this forum will be filled by the data of user. So let's move to the add contact. Come here to the add contact, copy the whole code, Control A, Control C, and paste it inside the edit contact. Control A, Control V. Let's just change the name of this, which is edit contact. Copy this code and paste it above also. Save it. So this is our edit contact. Now let's first of all, we have 3 fields here also: name, email, phone, address. That is okay. Navigate, handle, input. First of all, come here to the input fields. Okay, we have, let's change this to edit contact, and we have input field for name, and change handle input, call this function. This is the same code that we had. Okay, nothing, don't worry about this, it means update it. But the first change that we should make, that is, instead of, whenever we would like to edit a contact, we will have here the data of the user that we want to update. So for that we will use effect hook to fetch the record based on ID. So just come here and we will write here use effect hook, and here we will pitch the data, pitch the record. So for that, come here to the contacts. As we pitch the data, we will have the same code. Like, let's copy this use effect hook, and just come here to the edit contact, paste the code here. We will call now, let's remove this load. We don't need loading. Okay, if you would like to add loading, so you can add it, but I will remove it. Let's create a state variable also for the contact, or we will edit this value. Okay, values. Whenever instead of just come here and we will pass, I think I have just copied, oh sorry, I have just deleted the code from loading. That is okay. We have use effect hook, that is okay. Yeah, remove this code, and also this one, and access.get. This is just contact. It means that we will get contact based on ID. Contact slash we will pass our ID also. So to pass our ID, for that let's write, we will just attach that, okay, using plus sign. And here we will write, let's first of all extract our ID from URL. Const ID is equal to use params hook. So it will fetch our ID, and we will attach that with this ID. We will pass our headers also, that in response whenever that is success. So let's create this set contacts variable. Just come here. Yeah, instead of calling this whenever we pitch the record, so we will update these values. Okay, these values. So to update that, let's call this set values. Just come here, set values, and we will update that object. We will write, first of all, we will update the name. We will assign the response.data.name, and after that the email, response.data.email, and then the phone, response.data.phone, and address, response.data.address, like this. Okay, whenever we pitch a record, so we will update set values, we will update these values. these values. Now let's assign these values to our input fields. The default value, it means like value is equal to with values dot name, and we will, let's copy this and we will have it for email also. This is for email. Let's just change this to email, and we will have it for phone number also. Phone, let's write here phone, close it, and we will have it for address also. Now let's write the API for to pitch a record. Okay, we will implement this API. Let's move to our routes, and here we will have the, this is just a contact slash, we will have an ID. Okay, because we would like to pass an ID also. Verify user, and instead of get contact we will call get contact, simple contact. Okay, and also let's import it, get contact. We will implement it in the controller like this. Let's implement it in the controller, contact controller, and let's copy this code and paste it here. This is just get contact, and also let's export it, comma, paste it. And first of all, we will just have our ID, const ID is equal to request.params. Yeah, we will picture ID from the request, and let's wrap this ID inside this curly braces. If not ID, if the ID was not existed, return an error. Return response.status 401, for example, .json error, no ID specified, like this. And let's implement contact. We will find a contact model dot find based on ID. ID is equal to with this ID. Okay, we will just fetch that record based on this ID. Okay, after getting the contacts, we will return 200 success true, and let's return like this, contacts dot document of this contact. So after, if there was any error, so return the error. I think we have implemented, and let's check it. Let's move to the browser, contacts, let's press this one. So we don't have the values of the user, so just come here to the edit contacts, use effect access.get, the contact name is yt contact slash id header, that is okay, dot in response dot data dot success. Why we don't have the record? It means the values F12 contact resources, the service phone with the status 404 not found. It means there is a server side error. Let's move to the server. There is no error. Come here to the contact controller, get contact, request.params, that is okay. If not ID specified, state 401 JSON error not specified. Let's once again refresh it. I think we should move to, so whenever we press this contacts, we should move to the contacts page. Let's come here to the now bar, and just come here to the contacts. We should move to the /dashboard, save it, contacts, and here let's press the refresh it, press this one. So let's check it. Okay, let's come here. Why we don't have the record? The problem, where is the problem? We don't have any problem, I think. Yeah, warning is changing uncontrolled input to be uncontrolled. This is likely caused by the value changing to undefined, which should not happen. Decide between using controller and control input. edit contact. Let's just console dot log response, save it. Okay, we got the data. Okay, we got the data success true, but we don't have the we just return success true. So just let's move to the contact controller, contacts dot slash doc. So let's wrap it inside curly braces. What happened? Save it, paste within error, await, that is okay. Status 200 JSON success true, contact start slash doc, refresh it. So we have just data, just success true. Let's remove this thing. Let's return contacts. Okay, contacts, save it, let's refresh it. We have returned contacts, that is in array with us, but instead of array we should return an object. Okay, we should return an object. So we will just use find one function, because find is returning an array with us, but this find one, it will just return one record, so we can return the object. Let's refresh it now. So it will looks like this, the returned object. See, and we have the data, and we displayed the data here in the input fields. So now whenever we edit the data, we don't have the address. Okay, the data of the address, let's we have posted by name, email, address, AWD. I think there is a spelling mistake. Come here to the edit contact, that is address, save it. Yeah, we have the address now. So now whenever we change this data, like usub1 and usub1, change this to just usub and change it to 000 like this, and street1 to main road. So whenever now we press this update button, we should update this record. So for that, let's implement the logic. By pressing this update button, we will call handle submit function. Form call on submit, call handle submit function. Let's find the handle submit function. Yeah, this is handle submit function. We will call it axios.post. We will post the data to, we will just change this data. Update contact, and also we will pass the ID slash, we will attach it by plus ID. I think we have the ID. Let's bring this ID, cut this ID and paste it above the handle submit function. Paste it here. Plus ID values, we will pass values. Headers, that is okay. If result at success, toast at success, contact added success, and slash move to the dashboard. So that is okay. Just we will implement this update contact API. Let's move to the routes, server side routes, and here we will just add, instead of post we will change it to put. This is because we would like to update a record. Change it the method to put. Come here, and here we will have the put method, and change this route to update contact slash ID verify user, and here we will call update contact. Let's import it first of all from contact controller, and let's create it now inside the contact controller. So let's create the API. So to create the API, let's copy this code, paste it here, and we will just change the name to update contact. And also let's export it. Control C, Control V. I think the name is okay. Just come here to the routes. Update contact, that is okay. So now let's change the code. First of all, we will stack the id from params. If not id, return this response. Try, we will find our contact based on id, so that is okay. This statement will work. Now let's update our record. Okay, whenever we find our record, so let's name it just contact. Whenever we find our record, we want to update it. So to update it, for that let's write const instead of finding the record, so we don't need to find the record. Okay, instead let's const result is equal to await contact model dot find by id and update. Find by id and update. Now let's first of all specify our id, which is id, and after that we will specify our data. So our data is spread operator dot request dot body. It means all our data is existed in request dot body. Then let's specify new to true. It is a new record. So it means that we have, first of all, we will find our record, then we will update it. This function we will call it. First of all, we will pass our id, then our data, then a new record true. And now let's return, okay, success true, and we will return the result dot slash doc. Save it. And yeah, that is okay. Update, and the method was put. Yeah, method is put, and update contact method is put, and we pass the values. Everything is okay. Contact added, it means contact updated successfully. Then we will move to the dashboard. Let's check it now. Okay, let's move to our browser. So we have our record. Let's change it, use up 1 and just use up 300 like this. Okay, we just want to update it. Let's press the update button. See, contact updated successfully, and the contact has been updated. Look at the record. So it means that we have successfully updated the contact. Now another functionality is that whenever we press this delete button, first of all we will show a sweet alert message. So if we press OK, so we will be able to delete this record. So by pressing this icon, we will delete the record. Come here to the contacts. In the contacts, let's come here to the columns. In the columns, whenever we press on this icon, okay, the delete icon. So let's add here on a click event. On click, we will call delete record, and we will pass id to this row dot slash id. Let's call it like this, a row function. So we will call this delete record function. Let's create this delete record function. We will get id here, and inside this, now first of all we will just display a sweet alert message. So to display that, I have already installed it. Let's sweet alert 2. Let's open it. This is the documentation of that. Let's open it. So just come here first of all to the installation. Yeah, this is the installation that we can install. And with React, if you would like to use it with React, this is the usage of that with React. So what we will do, first of all, import swal, and then import with React content from sweet alert 2. Let's copy these two. I have already installed it. Okay, we have installed at the start of the project all the dependencies and libraries. So let's move here at the top and import these two. So after importing them, now let's use them. So to use it, for that let's move to back to the examples. Yeah, let's come here to search confirm message. Yeah, we will use this example. Confirm, save, delete it. Yes, delete it. Yeah, this message, I will just copy this code. Let's copy this code and come here to the delete record button. function, yeah, this one, and here I will display this one. And one thing else that we should do with React, that is we will use this, okay, const mysval with React content. Okay, let's create it, copy this, and I will use it here, mysval with or we can just, let's move it at the top here. Now we will use, instead of sval, this mysval, copy it and paste it here, paste it here, save it. Let's try it, what happened. Let's come here to the browser, let's press see, we have are you sure, yes, delete it, yeah, delete it, like this. We will display a message. So now whenever we press OK, okay, if result that is confirmed, if we press that, so this is the whole code, okay, if whenever we press the OK, so then we will call this code. So before calling this code, let's, here we will call our API, server side API. There we will delete first of all the record, then we will return the response. So I replace the code, okay, whenever we press is confirmed, it means if whenever we press OK, so we will call this, we will use this code, okay, access.delete, this is the API that we have called, contact msyt contact, and we will pass the ID to this API. We attached our header with that, and then result, whenever we get the response, so we will just fetch the records also from server side, and we will store them inside the contacts, okay, inside this contacts, okay, we will return the contacts and we will store them in the contacts variable, and we will fire this mysfile.fire, yes, delete it. If there was an error, so mysfile just error, there was an error occur, so I have just played this code through this code. Now we will call this contact, let's call it, okay, we will create this. First of all, come here to the route, and the route is just contact, and let's change this to delete, verify user, and here we will call delete contact, copy it, paste it, alt shift F. Now let's create it inside the contact controller. So to create that, for that we need to copy again this code, because a lot of code is similar. So we will just change the name to delete contact, request.response, take ID from request.forums, if not ID, so return this message, and try const contacts. First of all, we will count the contact. If not contacts, it means if the contact was not existed. If not contacts, change this to contact. If the contact was not existed, so then we will return a message, copy this message, paste it here, 401 error, no record existed. Else if the contact was available, so then we will delete it. So let's write const delete record is equal to await contact model dot find by ID and delete. Is equal to with ID, it will find it and it will delete it also. Now let's switch the records. Const contacts is equal to await contact model dot find, return all records ID, posted by the user ID, posted by request.user./id. So we will return this user, the user which has deleted the record, that user records as we have returned at the start, okay, like this, posted by request.user.id, that user./id. So after that success true ./contacts .doc, that is okay, or we can just return contacts. So let's try it. Okay, delete contact. Let's copy it and export it. Let's move to the browser, refresh it once. Yeah, we have that. Let's press delete. If you press cancel, so nothing will happen. If you press delete, yes, delete it, so it will delete the record. Yeah, delete, it means an error occurred, so the record has not been deleted. Let's check for the error. Where is the error? By ID and delete it. Where was the error? Contact msyt / contact. Let's check the routes. HTTP localhost 3001 contact. That is 3001 or not? That is 3, not this, just port number error. Let's save it now and we will try it now. So let's press this one. Yes, delete it. See, the record has been deleted. No record, there is no record to display. Add a contact. It means for this user we don't have any record. Let's add a new record. Let's, like, this is our record. Okay, let's press add. See, the record has been added successfully. Let's edit it. For example, use upon to John, T to John, like this, and press the edit. See, John has been added. So let's press it, delete. Yes, delete it. The record has been deleted successfully. It means the record has been deleted. So now whenever we press this log out link or the exit link, we will add the functionality to log out the user from the system, from the website. So to log out, for that, let's move to the come here to the navbar. In the navbar, come here to the logout link. So whenever we press this, let's move to the logout. Save it, and also let's move to the sidebar. In the sidebar, whenever we press the exit link, okay, this link, so we should move to is equal to /logout. Now let's create it inside the app.jsx. Come here to the app.jsx, and here we will create part the logout. Let's copy this one and just come here outside. Yeah, come here, comma, paste it, and this is logout. So after that, we will move to the logout component. We don't have the logout component. Let's create it. Right click on this and new file, logout.jsx RAFCE, and let's import it now. Instead of this, we will add logout. That has been imported, the logout. Now in the logout, now we will implement our logic. So just come here, and yeah, here we will have a new element. And first of all, let's import use contact and user context. Use context and user context, because we want to have the user detail that we have stored inside API, context API. So now let's use it. Const, we will destruct user, set user is equal to from use context, and we will assign user context. So what we did, we used context API, so we have assigned to that user and set user. Just come here, we had user and set user, and we use that through user context provider, user and set user. Now in the logout component, first of all, I destruct set user from use context, and I assign user context to that context. So now we will use switch alert again to display a message to the user. So to display the message as we have used previously a few minutes before the switch alert, so let's move to the edit contact. I think, yeah, that was in the contacts. In the contacts, we have used the switch alert. So to use the switch alert, first of all, we will copy these two. We will import these two component. Just come here, the swal component and the CSS, and this component to use with React. Now just come here again to the contacts, and let's copy this line also. We will paste it here, and after that we will use now this MySwal alert. Okay, yeah, I think that is okay. Yeah, let's copy this code and we will paste it here, and let's remove this Axios code. I think we have solved the error that is confirmed. Whenever we confirm that, what we would like to display, yeah, that is okay. Alt Shift F. So this is the swal, okay, that we have displayed the message. So whenever we confirm it, we will display another message. It means that exit it. So by confirming it, what we will do, first of all, we will clear the local storage, because we have stored our token inside the local storage. So let's write local storage dot clear. We will call clear function, and we will call set user and we will assign null to this set user. And after that, let's down from this message, we will move navigate. We will use navigate hook to move slash to dashboard. It means to home page. Okay, let's create an instance of navigate. Let's const navigate is equal to use navigate hook, and we will use the navigate. And let's customize the message. Are you sure you won't be able, do you want to, are you sure, do you want to exit, and yes, yes you want, yes I want. And here display no my plus, sorry, here we should display success. Yeah, no, I will not show any message here. Yep. So this is the code, okay, the swal that we will fire. And in the confirm, we will just clear the cookie and the token and set user null and navigate to home page. Let's try it, how it, what it do. Let's, for example, refresh our page. This is our, let's press the exit button. See, we have displayed a message. Are you sure, do you want to exit? Yes I want. See, we have log out from the system, we have login and register button here. And another, the last thing is that whenever we enter something from dashboard, so we should not move directly to the dashboard. It means we are not logged in now, we cannot access the dashboard, so we should protect our URLs. So let's just implement protected routes component. Just come here again to the components, and here create a new file and name it protected routes.jsx. and inside this, let's write our fce. We will pass now children to this protected routes. We will just get the children here. Okay, whenever we pass a component to this protected routes, so we will get them here. So now here, what we will do in the protected routes, now let's just remove this code. First of all, let's get token is equal to local storage dot get item slash token. So we will get the token. Now let's return. If the token was existed, so then return children, else return to move to slash navigate 2 is equal to slash login, replace, close it. What this protected route component will do, so whenever we call it, it means whenever inside this we will pass components, so it will check first of all for the token. If the token was existed, so then it will return those children. Otherwise, if the token was not existed, so then it will move directly to the login page. So let's move now back to our app.jsx. In the app.jsx, come here to our routes and come here to the dashboard component. So inside this, we will wrap our dashboard through protected routes like this. Protected routes. Okay, Look at this, we have wrapped our dashboard through protected routes. Let's save it now. Let's try it. Let's come here. For example, I would like to just write dashboard. See, we cannot access that. Even if I write dashboard /edit/2, again directly to the login page, because we have protect our routes. And now the last functionality is that whenever we write a wrong URL, for example something like this, so what we should do, we should create a custom page not found page, and we will move to that page. Come here to the pages, right click, new file, not found .jsx or AFCE, and inside this we will have Control Z. Let's remove this name, and first of all let's display 404 not found, page not found. At the last we will just display go to home, React Outer DOM. So this is our 404, it means not found page. Now let's use it. Just come here to the app.jsx and come here to the last of all our routes. Okay, these are our routes. So come here to the last of our routes, and here we will just write path static. If the path was not existed above, so then it will come here and we will call here not found. Save it. See, 404 page not found. Let's add some CSS code to this page. So I have added not found class name to this div element in not found component in the dashboard. See that CSS file, I have added this code. Let's save it. So it looks like this. Let's press home. So we will go back to the home page. So it was all about our contact management system that we have completed: login, register, not found, URL protected, URL token implementation, and also CRUD operation and sidebar, dashboard, and everything we have completed inside this contact management system using MERN stack, MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. And I hope that you learn something from this video and you learn new concepts through this video, through these projects. If you learned something from this video, so don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.